Welcome to the People Impact News with your host, Marjorie Kelly. Brought to you by the Baton Rouge Weekly Press, a people's publication serving Baton Rouge and surrounding areas.
Hello, I'm Marjorie Kelly, and welcome to the People's Impact News, brought to you by the Baton Rouge Weekly Press, the People's publication. In our weather forecast, it continues to be rainy with scattered showers, and it's looking like they're going to follow us into the weekend and then the beginning of next week. Now, most likely it will clear up by Monday with partly cloudy skies and then continue to clear up throughout the rest of next week. So keep those umbrellas handy and keep your heads covered because we don't want any of our viewers to catch cold. As we move on into our news, let's see what's in the news for the week of October 1st, 2013. Now, first off, there's lots going on the national scene. Some might say that the world is going crazy. We are in the midst of a governmental shutdown. That's right, the federal government has shut down. The powers that be, Congress that is, could not decide upon a sufficient compromise on the spending budget, so they have just shut it all down. Now, this is the first time that this has happened in 17 years. At 12:01 a.m. on this past Tuesday, the federal government shut down. Washington reports that as of Tuesday morning, an estimated 800,000 of the 2.1 million federal workers who are deemed non-essential for the operations of the government were sent home after they shut down their work. Only employees who were necessary to ensure national security and to protect Americans' lives and property were allowed to work, and this was without pay, along with a few unclassified workers. Now, federal benefits such as Medicare and Social Security will remain open, and the U.S. Postal Service will continue to deliver the mail. However, many other federal operations will come to a halt. National parks and museums like the Smithsonian will be closed to the public, and Americans will not be allowed to make new applications for any new federal programs. President Barack Obama was broken up over this shutdown. He responded by saying, "Unfortunately, Congress has not fulfilled its responsibility. It has failed to pass a budget, and as a result, much of our government must now shut down until Congress funds it again." Now, Mr. Obama added that uniformed military will remain on normal duty, but to the Defense Department's civilian force, he said, "I don't know what the days ahead could mean. They could mean more uncertainty, including possible furloughs." President Obama added, "You and your families deserve better than the dysfunction we're seeing in Congress." As we look at Obamacare, while the budget stalemate stems from the GOP's insistence on dismantling or delaying the health care law, one of the major portions of Obamacare still went into effect on Tuesday, October the 1st. Now, open enrollment began this past Tuesday on the state-based online marketplaces where consumers were able to purchase private health care insurance coverage. Though many governmental operations came to a halt on Tuesday morning, the Affordable Care Act is largely funded through mandatory spending and multi-year appropriations that continue through a government shutdown. The president said that the Affordable Care Act is moving forward and you can't shut it down. This is a law that passed both houses of Congress, a law that bears my signature, a law that the Supreme Court upheld as constitutional, a law that voters chose not to repeal last November, a law that is already providing benefits to millions of Americans. So I guess that sums it all up. As we look at the state and local news, how is the government shutdown impacting Louisiana and Baton Rouge? So how is this shutdown impacting us here in Louisiana and in the city of Baton Rouge? Well, on Tuesday in Baton Rouge, a spokesman for the state government agency said, as long as it doesn't last too long, it should have little to no impact on the state and local operations. Now, while most of the state agencies have some connection with federal agencies, those most closely connected to federal agencies are the Department of Transportation and Development, the Department of Education, the Department of Health and Hospitals, the Department of Children and Family Services, and the Louisiana Workforce Commission. Doug Baker, spokesman for the State Division of the administration, said that the shutdown in Washington, D.C. will not impact most programs in Louisiana that use federal funds. He further said that the biggest concerns are about distributing federal funding for education at all levels. Although the money has already been appropriated, spending it out could be a problem if the shutdown lasts an extended period of time. However, Barry Landry, spokesman for the Louisiana Department of Education, said state schools are safe for right now. Now, the communications director for the Department of Children and Family Services, Trey Williams, said that DCFS doesn't anticipate a problem serving the public. He further states that critical programs such as child support, adoption, Title IV-E, child welfare, social services block grants, TANF funds, and the Child Development Fund will be funded through December 15th of 2013. Now, Williams said that SNAP food stamps benefits will be provided for the month of October, and DCSF is going to continue to monitor and assess to see whether or not there's any other potential impacts. The government shutdown ends hunting, fishing on the federal properties. Hunting and fishing, along with any other activities, are prohibited on all federal properties as part of the government shutdown. And we'll talk about that as soon as we come back from our station break. Okay, welcome back. Before we went to break, we were talking about how the governmental shutdown was impacting our state and city. Well, one of the ways that we started talking about this shutdown impacting us was in the hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing, along with any other activities, are prohibited on all federal properties as a part of the government shutdown. Now, as confirmed by a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service official, Pon Dixon of the USFWS, he said that all federal properties are closed, including the Southeast Louisiana Refuge Complex, and also this includes the shutdown of the National Wildlife Refuges and the National Forest, all of which normally allow bow hunting beginning October the 1st. But the closures will last until the U.S. Congress moves past the current stalemate over this budget. Now, Dixon said that all gates would be locked and that there would be signs posted at every entry point where the gates are not installed, and enforcement officers will be patrolling to make sure that that there's compliance to these shutdowns. Now, he said that he was disappointed that a compromise over the federal budget couldn't come to an end sooner, but Dixon's final comment is that he hopes that the clowns up there get their act together really, really soon He said that the congressional leaders needed to get it together. So don't mess with the man and his hunting and fishing. Okay, in the local news, we always like to shine the light on people who are doing good things in our community. Now, we have a really good community service story. The Mirror of Grace Outreach Ministry here in Baton Rouge is offering free computer classes. That's right, free, absolutely free. The classes target individuals with little to no computer skills, and they will provide basic computer training classes, and these classes are meant to assist individuals in obtaining and developing the necessary understanding and skills to meet the needs of today's employer, because you know you need to be able to operate a computer on just about every job you go to. So the classes are being offered on Monday, October 7th. There will be Intro to Computers. Then on Wednesday, October the 9th, Microsoft Word. Then on Wednesday, October the 16th, there will be a class on PowerPoint. Tuesday, October the 22nd, Excel Part 1. Wednesday, October the 23rd, there will be Excel Part 2. Okay, now all of these classes are from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And there will also be an additional class on website design for beginners. And it will be offered, and it's entitled Building a Free Website. And this class is scheduled for Saturday, October the 12th, and it will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, for more information, you can call 225-300-4528, and you can speak with Ms. Patricia A. Harrell. Patricia A. Harrell is the Executive Director, or you can email Ms. Harrell at info@mirrorofgrace.org. Okay, so this is a good idea for all of you that are looking for additional training to make yourself more marketable in the job market, or if you simply just want to enhance your skills for personal use. So take advantage of this free course, all of these free courses. Good opportunity. All right, Exxon is doing great things. That's right, again. Exxon employees have donated a van to the YMCA. Now, the retired employees of ExxonMobil donated a van to the YMCA at 72nd Avenue. The van will be used for various duties to assist the YMCA staff in transporting people to and from the facility. Now, the YMCA received the title to the van from Exxon on last week. So that's such a wonderful gesture. Thanks, Exxon, for making a difference in our community. Lots of people will be happy that now they'll have a ride. Okay, let's take a look at our business news. Now, Baton Rouge spending takes a rebound. Reports show that spending in East Baton Rouge Parish by consumers and businesses rose 3.1% in July from a year ago, rebounding after 2 consecutive months of decreasing activity. Now, sales tax collection figures released by the City Parish Finance Department show businesses and consumers spent nearly $657.4 million in July. The figures don't include vehicle sales because vehicle sales are generally examined separately when looking at spending as an economic indicator. Now, reports further show that the first 7 months of 2013, spending in the East Baton Rouge Parish is down 12% to nearly $4.59 billion, and spending outside of the city limits has fallen to a 1.7% to $2.16 billion and has dropped 0.7% in the city limits to $2.43 billion. So consequently, vehicle sales have jumped dramatically in July from the year before, increasing 17% to nearly 64.8 million. And auto sales are up 12.3% through the first 7 months of the year. That's a lot of figures. Okay, as we move right along, tax preparation businesses like Jackson Hewitt are telling customers to put away the paper and file your taxes this year online to avoid any holdup. They suggest that you opt out of the paper and deal in direct deposit. Now, Steve Everly, who is the district manager of Jackson Hewitt offices in Baton Rouge, said that if you're going by paper, you can expect to probably, instead of 5 to 7 weeks, you're looking at your refund coming back in 10 to 15 weeks. So it looks like e-file is the way to go. And on that note, we need to take another break. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, there you are. Welcome back. We here at the Baton Rouge Weekly Press care about you, mind, body, and spirit. In our health news, October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, we know that National Breast Care Awareness Month was founded in 1985 as a partnership between the American Cancer Society and the Pharmaceutical Division of Imperial Chemical Industries, which is now a part of AstraZeneca, producer of several anti-breast cancer drugs. And the aim of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month from the start has been to promote mammography as the most effective weapon in the fight against breast cancer. Now, last month we focused on the men in our viewing audience and encouraged them, as well as gave information on free screenings and other information to help save lives. This month, we will do the same for you women in hopes to help us all stay alive and well. Now, unfortunately, breast cancer rates are rising in Black women. A new report shows that the number of Black women who are diagnosed with breast cancer is on the rise, but doctors are not sure what is causing the increased numbers. Now, about 232,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in 2013, according to the government statistics. More than 39,000 women are expected to die from the disease this year. It is reported that about 8 in 10 breast cancer cases and almost 9 in 10 breast cancer deaths occur in women 50 years of age and older. Previous research suggests that Black women with the disease fare worse than diagnosed white women. So, reports also show that white women have historically had the highest breast cancer rates among women over 40, but Black women are closing the gap, especially those ages 50 to 59 years old. Now, in a recent study, Black women saw a 0.2% increase in the breast cancer rate during a 5-year study period. While there were no changes among the white, Asian, and American Indian women, Hispanic women saw a 0.6% drop in breast cancer rates. Black women continue to be more likely than other women to be diagnosed with breast cancer before the age of 40 and were more likely to die of breast cancer at any age compared to all of these other women. Okay, so sisters, I'm now going to admonish you, like I did the men, to take care of yourselves. We take care of everybody else. Black women carry the world on our shoulders. But if those shoulders fall, everything else will come tumbling down. So get yourself checked, get a mammogram, and take care of you. Okay? Now, did you know that Louisiana has one of the highest rates of breast cancer deaths despite an average rate of diagnoses in our state? So if you know someone who is uninsured, underinsured, and they cannot afford to pay for an annual screening, please call 225-215-1234 or 1-888-616-4687 for help. And this is through the Susan G. Komen Baton Rouge Foundation. They've been funded $2.8 million in local programs since the year of 1996 and $875,000 in research. So Baton Rouge is an affiliate of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and it's located at 9151 Interline Avenue, Suite 8A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70809, or they can be reached at 225-615-8740, or by calling the helpline at 1-877-GOKOMEN, or you can go to www.KOMENBATONROUGE.org. So take that information and let's make sure that you or another woman gets the checkup that she needs. All right, it's time to talk about football. Now, is anyone else other than me having visions of the Super Bowl with our beloved Saints taking home an NFL championship? Well, I'll slow down just a minute. But what about those Saints? These guys are playing football. The New Orleans Saints defeat the Miami Dolphins with a score of 38-17. Now, Drew Brees was cool as a cucumber early in the game. He held out throwing a pass in Graham's direction in the first 22 minutes of the game because the Dolphins decided to double cover Graham whenever he split out like a wide receiver. But that darn Drew threw his first pass in Graham's direction. Middle of the second quarter, the tight end was double covered by Jamar Taylor and Brent Grimes, but our dynamic Drew simply hurled the ball into the left side of the end zone and had the 6'6" Graham go up and just grab it. Brees was one step ahead of the defense all night. The Dolphins did not have a chance. Now, let's not leave out Darren Sproles, the scat back. Darren Sproles caught 7 passes for 114 yards. Way to go, Saints. Who that talking about beating those Saints? All right, as we come a little bit closer to home, LSU Tigers put up a good fight on this past Saturday. However, their running game was their downfall. They succeeded in protecting quarterback Zach Mettenberger, but their inability to have a running game along with a passing game made their performance this week incomplete. So better luck this coming weekend, Tigers, as you go out to play with Mississippi State. Get back your game and bring us home a win. Now, as we take a look at our Southern University Jaguars. All right, the Jags had yet another loss, but it was a really good game. They fought a good fight. Unfortunately, well-intentions weren't enough to take the game from their rival Jackson State University. Now, Southern's Darren Joseph's passing skills were great, but it still wasn't enough to bring the Jags a victory. Jackson State defeated the Jaguars with a score of 19-14. So rest up, Jags. This week you have an off weekend and get ready for your next win in the weeks to come. Well, that's going to just about do it for me this week. I hope that everyone has had a great week, and I hope that you have a great coming week. Remember, stay positive, and remember, you have the ability to make a difference in your life and in the life of another, and you can make an impact not only on yourself, but you have the opportunity to make an impact on the world. I'll see you next week. Bye.